My friends, we have been talking for quite some time about how outrageous this is, this nonsense going on with former President Donald Trump and the way that the Democrats, the Joe Biden administration, all these cuckoo woke individuals, including but not limited to our favorite Fani Willis of Fulton County District Attorney fame, this is all outrageous. You know it, I know it. And up until now, we finally have a way that you can fight back. Yes, you can help President Donald Trump right now if you wish. And I'm going to include a link at the bottom in the description for you to help. Now, you may be thinking, what in the world am I talking about? What is going on? Well, let's take a look at it right now. Fortunately for each and every one of us, the agency by the name for the American Center for Law and Justice, this is the agency that has been founded by Pat Robertson, at least in part. I have followed them for years. The name sounds familiar. It may be familiar because it's similar to the ACLU, two completely different organizations, and generally they are on opposite sides of the political spectrum, if you will. But in this particular case, the great news is they are asking you and me to come over and help sign a petition. What they are going to do is they are in the process of filing what's called an amicus brief. They are going to add this amicus brief in support of I'll tell you what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the Georgia Court of Appeals to take up President Trump's appeal. You remember that Judge Scott McAfee said that, hey, you know what? I will go ahead and remove DA Fani Willis and Nathan Wade and her office if they stick together. That can no longer go on. However, what I am willing to do is I'm going to split the baby. Nathan Wade has to go. And in that regard, if he goes, I'll allow Fani Willis to stay on the case. Of course, this is an outrageous, unbelievable, whatever you want to call it. I call it nonsense. Again, this is the reason why you don't want to have elected judges. These elected judges are just terrible for our society in whole. And this case is proof of many things, but it's definitely proof, in my opinion, that you need not to have elected judges. But if you want to go ahead and sign this petition, the link is below in the comments. When this video is over with, just click on the link, fill it out. We're going to take a look at it on this video today. I will show you what it is and how you can simply fill it out. They already have, as of the making of this video, I believe it's in excess of 57,000 signatures. They wanted 50,000 originally, and the response has been so huge, so favorable, that they have went ahead and say, hey, let's take the goal to 100,000 that they could add as part of the brief they're going to submit to the Georgia Court of Appeals. What an opportunity to make your voice heard and say, enough. I'm tired of what's going on with this lawfare, the way that our government is being used to take out a leading political candidate. It's just really a great opportunity. So let's go ahead without further ado and let's take a quick peek at this. I want to read you this quick article. Also, I have to point out two of my friends, Mark and Rudy. Mark, shout out, Rudy, shout out, have sent me this information, and I use what they told me as part of what I'm going to go over with you today. So we're going to read this article quickly from Slate Magazine. It says, virtual petition demands Fani Willis's disqualification from Trump election case. All right, a petition has gone viral that demands Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis to be removed from her politically motivated case against President Donald Trump. As Slate News reported, a Georgia judge recently ruled that the embattled Democrat prosecutor could continue to lead her Get Trump. I love the way they say that because that's what Alan Dershowitz has been saying for quite some time in his best-selling book, Get Trump. Shout out to Alan. Okay, says Get Trump case targeting the 45th president with election interference charges. And of course, as we have talked about numerous times, the great irony here, folks, is what Fani Willis and her associates are doing, the Biden administration, all these woke individuals are doing. This is the real election interference. And in my opinion, it is also the real Rico case, if you want to get right down to the facts of this particular matter. However, it appears that a large segment of the population would prefer a different outcome, no doubt. As Newsweek reports, a petition in support of Willis's disqualification from her case has amassed over 50,000 signatures after going viral on social media. The momentum of this petition suggests that Willis's professional fate is far from settled. Amen. The petition, initiated by the American Center for Law and Justice, the abbreviation, of course, is ACLU, has now soared past its initial stage of 50,000 signatures. As the campaign continues to be flooded with support, the ACLU has now set a new goal of 100,000 signatures. The ACLU is a Christian, noted, based, conservative legal advocacy group. And we'll take a quick look at their site here in a minute, at least on Wikipedia, and get a little bit more information. The group's leaders are committed to the cause of facilitating Willis's removal from the Trump case. The pushback against Willis comes amid concerns over her conduct concerning her personal relationship. And of course, we all remember the special prosecutor / paramour, Nathan Wade, who, of course, has resigned since. The organization has also levied accusations about what it believes are the political motivations behind the prosecution. In response, the ACLU has continued to take steps designed to secure what it believes is justice for Trump and his co-defendants. Though Fulton County Judge Scott McAfee recently ruled that Willis could remain on the case, provided that Wade stepped down, the ACLU, like many Americans, remains dissatisfied with the result. Now the case is being appealed and we're taking action, the group explained in the petition. Our senior legal team, including our former Georgia prosecutor, is filing a critical amicus brief urging the Georgia Court of Appeals to hear this vital case and disqualify Willis. It was late last month that Trump and 8 of his co-defendants in the election interference case formally appealed McAfee's order, leaving Willis in place. You know, you have to admit, folks, that is really unbelievable that this judge would try the split the baby type verdict, if you will. It's kind of like we're going to go ahead and take one bad figure out, but this other bad individual that's violating the rules, that is not doing what she's supposed to do, she can stay. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. Attorneys contend that the decision regarding Wade and Willis stopped short of providing sufficient relief and that the disqualification of the district attorney was the appropriate remedy. Trump's attorney, Steve Sato, explained, quote, while the trial court factually found that DA Willis out-of-court statements were improper, the defendants proved an apparent conflict of interest. The trial court erred as a matter of law by not requiring dismissal of DA Willis. Period. I think that is just exactly correct. The legal error requires that the court immediate review this, he added. The ACLU is not only a conservative organization taking aim at Willis. As we know, she's got a lot of problems. It says that it was noted last month that the American Accountability Foundation asked the State Bar of Georgia to intervene in this case, investigate Willis for allegedly admitting to the retention of campaign funds for personal use. The AAF also requested a similar probe and disciplinary action against Wade over his entanglement with Willis. The organization argues that Wade committed perjury during a hearing on the DA's potential disqualification. Whether Willis will ultimately be disqualified from the Trump case and what, if any, sanctions she and Wade may receive, however, only time will tell. And that is absolutely correct. Obviously, this judge made a terrible decision. I really am hoping that the Georgia Court of Appeals will take up the case. A lot of people are saying, no way, it's not going to happen. My prediction is they will take up this case because the law is clearly conflicted in this matter. A quick peek at Wikipedia concerning the American Center for Law and Justice. All right, this is the one, as I said earlier, was founded by Pat Robertson, and that's what it says here. Remember, Pat Robertson was the head of the 700 Club. I'm sure you've probably seen it on television, at least at some point in your life. They are all over television, especially during the daytime with their religious themed broadcast, their Christian-based broadcasting. It says the American Center for Law and Justice, the ACLJ, is a politically conservative Christian-based legal organization in the United States. It's headquartered in Washington, D.C. and associated with Regents University School of Law in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Very, very famous, very popular organization. Now, here is the petition, my friends. I strongly encourage you to take a look at this petition. Again, the link is down below. As of this video. It currently has 5,252 signatures with the goal of 100,000. So the more signatures they get, the better. I just want to read a little bit of this right here. This particular petition says the radical left is weaponizing the justice system against conservative. It's outrageous and dangerous. Fani Willis's campaigned on prosecuting Trump. She hired her boyfriend and paid him lavish sums, including potentially using federal taxpayer dollars. The judge ruled that there is an odor of mendacity, which basically means lying, hanging over this case. Yet he refused, talking about Scott McAfee, Judge Scott McAfee, he refused to remove DA Willis. This is a political prosecution. The DA is tainted, the evidence is tainted, and the impropriety here reeks of injustice. Now the case is being appealed, and we're taking action. Our senior legal team, including our own former Georgia prosecutor, is filing a critical amicus brief urging the Georgia Court of Appeals to hear this vital case and disqualify Willis. I like the way he words this here. This case isn't just about President Trump. This is about ending the two-tier justice system and defeating political prosecutions. I would add persecutions. Georgia is a ground zero in this fight. We're filing on behalf of every American because this impacts you, your vote, and our entire constitutional system of justice. Take action with us. So you go to the website right here, and you're simply just going to fill out your name. You're going to go ahead and put your email address and whatever. Very, very simple, not something difficult to do at all. I encourage you strongly to go ahead and do that. Now, I want to show you one other thing here too. Let me switch over and go ahead and add this on this particular screen so we can see it. Now, this is what I wrote, and this is what I want you to carefully consider. Don't ignore what I'm saying, okay? I wrote this out for you. The power of public engagement can make a difference. Right now, there is a petition circulating that we just went over where they're going to ask the Georgia Court of Appeals to take up this disqualification of District Attorney Fani Willis from this Trump so-called Rico case. Here is your chance to make a difference and be heard. This petition isn't just a formality. It is a way for us to show our collective voices and demand fairness and accountability in our legal system. I think that says it about as best as I know how to say it. What do you think? Please leave me a comment below. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you're going to sign the petition. It will only encourage others to sign if you sign and leave a comment letting us know that you have done so. I want to do everything I possibly can to help support this cause. I am a firm believer that Donald Trump is the person we need to be the next president of the United States. You know, my channel is all about shedding light on all of this indoctrination, this nonsense, these lies, this takeover of our freedoms. Friends, you have to join me, please. It's for your sake, your family's sake, your children's sake, for the sake of our great country that God has blessed. But we must step up and be heard and take action. And how much easier can it be to click over on your computer and fill out the petition? I strongly encourage you to do so, my friends. Hey, I always appreciate taking time to join me and have a conversation with me. I always say, my friends, keep that mind free, never give up. And until next time, I am J.R. Dukes.